Hello everyone, this is part 18 of What If Naruto's Mother Was Tsunade Senju, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Previous on Hope of the Senju clan. Upon hearing all these screams and destructive noises, many of the genin were starting to get scared, while the jonin started to worry, fearing they were being attacked. The Sandaime, though, already knew who was coming, although it did not lessen his worry. In fact, it increased it, where he was starting to have flashbacks to the events at the Hokage mansion 13 years ago. "What's going on? Are we under attack?" cried Kiba. "Sort of," replied Naruto with a sigh, as like the Sandaime he'd immediately realized who was causing all the mayhem. "What do you mean by that, Senju-san? Do you know who is causing all this?" asked Shino, since like everyone else he was concerned at what was happening. "I'm afraid so," Naruto answered with another sigh. "Who is it? Is it an enemy ninja?" asked the frightened Ino. "No, something much worse than any enemy ninja," Naruto answered. "Then who is it?" cried Sakura, as she became more and more worried. "It's Naruto spoke, but before he could finish a massive crashing sound was heard, where the large double steel doors that allowed entrance into the hall were blown open and nearly off their hinges. Upon which, when everyone turned to look at the perpetrator, they saw that the person was a tall, beautiful blonde-haired woman, with two large mounds on her chest and furious look on her face. "Ka-chan. Sarutobi sensei. Where is my son?" cried the angry Senju mother. Battle arena. After Tsunade broke the doors open, the female Sannin slowly marched towards the two groups, with her eyes ablaze with righteous fury and fixed of her former sensei the Sandaime, who looked like he wanted to be anywhere but here right now. Right behind Tsunade was Jiraiya and Shizune, who was still carrying taunting, who looked to be a lot calmer than the famed slug princess, although had concerned looks on their faces. As Tsunade marched towards her sensei, killing intent emitted from the blonde-haired woman in a manner that impressed even Gaara, as she marched forward. Spider cracks started to appear on the floor every time her heels hit it, furthering the fact that the woman wasn't in a good mood. The genin quickly broke parts to allow Tsunade to pass and have a clear path to the Sandaime, as they could practically see the dark red murderous aura that now surrounds the elder woman. Naruto, of course, remained hidden in one of the two groups, since he knew that it was best for his mother to vent her frustration out, before going up to her. Although that was if the Sandaime survived her venting. The jonin senseis that stood behind the Hokage quickly followed their students' example, where they slowly started to back away from the Sandaime, since they knew well enough not to get in the way of an angry Sannin. "Cowards," muttered the Sandaime, although wished he could the same thing himself right now. "So that's Naruto-kun's mother, she's beautiful," thought Ino, before looking at Tsunade's massive bust, and became slightly envious. She then wondered if there was some kind of secret method or something she ate or drank to make them grow that big. "So that's Konoha no Namakuji Tsunade Hime, Konoha's slug princess Tsunade. I'm beginning to see the similarities between the two," thought Zabuza. Given how Naruto had a similar look as her when he was angry, not to mention they both had the same destructive tendency. "Whoa, are those things for real? They're definitely the biggest I've ever seen. She's gotta be an E," thought Killer Bee as he stared at Tsunade's chest. "I can't believe it, I'm actually seeing Tsunade-sama herself in person," thought Tenten with glee and stars in her eyes, when she saw her idol. "So that's Naruto's mother, and that other guy must be Jiraiya the Gama Sennin," thought Sasuke, as he stared at the two legendary shinobi with narrowed eyes. "Damn, Naruto's mom is pretty scary," thought Omoi. "What if she goes postal and kills the Hokage? Does the exam get cancelled? What if instead she destroys the entire tower? Should we get out of here now or wait and see what happens? Or should we simply quit now before she does something? Kukukuku, well, this is an unexpected surprise. I'll admit I expected Tsunade to show up, but I didn't think Jiraiya would. This certainly makes things more interesting. Not to mention it seems that Tsunade hasn't lost any of her monstrous strength, and I dare say that her temperament has increased," thought the disguised Orochimaru in amusement. "Holy cow, she's hot and her boobs are huge. I would so bow," stated Kiba as he stared at Tsunade's chest as she marched by them. But stopped in mid-sentence when he heard the clicking sound of a blade being drawn and felt the edge of a blade right next to a certain valuable body part. If you know what's good for you, dog breath, you'll not finish that sentence and will remove your eyes from my mother's chest. Otherwise I'll be neutering you here and now, stated Naruto in a very deadly tone and look, which made the young Inuzuka gulp in fear. Quickly following Naruto's instructions, Kiba stopped what he was about to say and removed his gaze from Tsunade's chest. Upon which Naruto removed his katana from Kiba's manhood and sheathed it back onto his back, but not before he gave Kiba a cold glance, telling him to watch it. Once Naruto removed his katana, Kiba let out a sigh of relief at not losing his most valuable asset, and as much as he hated to say it, he had to admit, Naruto could be pretty scary when he wanted to be. Damn it, this could jeopardize everything. We knew to expect Tsunade-sama, but we never considered Jiraiya-sama would appear with her, thought Baki with a frown. Since the appearance of the two remaining loyal members of the Sannin could ruin the entire invasion. Itg, good to see you back in the village, Tsunade, I ho ga. Spoke Sarutobi nervously, as it was obvious that Tsunade knew or at least had an idea of what happened to Naruto when he was in the Forest of Death. But before he could finish speaking, Tsunade grabbed him by his robes and pulled him right to her angry face. Cut the crap, sensei, I know what happened. What kind of fucked up exam are you running here? Now tell me where my son is now, or so help me I will, stated Tsunade angrily, but before she could finish her threat, Naruto stepped forward out of the group of genin, so to save his surrogate grandfather from being pummeled to death by his overprotective mother. Ka-chan, you can let go of Gigi, since I'm fine. As soon as Tsunade heard her son's voice, she quickly turned to see him, where within seconds she dropped the sandime onto his rear and then cried out, Naru-chan. And, my baby. Before enveloping Naruto in a bone-breaking hug and proceeded to smother the boy in her ample bosom. Naturally, upon seeing this, everyone minus Jiraiya and Shizune all had large sweat drops on the back of their heads, as they weren't exactly sure how to judge this scene. Although some of the male shinobi couldn't help but slightly envy Naruto's situation. Since even being suffocated to death in Tsunade's ample chest was a way many of them wouldn't mind going. Jiraiya himself stated that he often envied Naruto's position whenever he was enveloped in one of his mother's hugs, especially for the first 2 years of his life when Tsunade was breastfeeding him. He even once asked Naruto what it was like to rest his head in that heavenly bosom of hers. Naturally, he never got his answer, since as soon as he'd asked Naruto the question, the young blonde did a perfect imitation of his mother and punched the Gamma Sennin right into a wall, while crying out, pervert. At the same time as everyone was watching the scene of Tsunade smothering her son, a certain Naruto couldn't help but find the whole situation troublesome. Although for once he was actually glad that he had the mother he had, since he had found a woman that was actually more troublesome than his own mother. Something that he thought until just now was impossible. As Kiba watched the scene, he couldn't help but snicker slightly at scene, especially when he heard Tsunade call Naruto her baby, and her precious little Naru-chan. Kiba was of course tempted to shout out, Momo's boy, but decided against it for now, in case Tsunade turned her wrath on him for teasing her baby. Eventually though, Jiraiya decided to intervene and save his godson from being smothered to death and from any more embarrassment, where he had Tsunade let go of Naruto. Once Tsunade had let go of her son, she then turned to the Sandime who had just picked himself. You and I need to have a little chat, sensei, now. Stated the slug princess with forceful look that said she would accept no excuses. The Sandime could sigh, as he knew that there would be no going around this, where he then told Hayate that they would halt the exam for a little. At this the young man just nodded, after which, the Senju family along with the Sandime, Kushina and Yamato departed. Soon after leaving the battle arena, the Sandime Hokage led Tsunade and everyone else to a small room where they would have some privacy. But as soon as he shut the door behind him, Tsunade once again grabbed the Sandime by his robes and held him up into the air. What the hell has been going on here, sensei? Cried the furious Tsunade. I come here racing at top speed for 4 days, fearing that something had happened to Naru-chan, and when I arrive, I hear that you just let Orochimaru walk right into the village and then let him place his curse seal on my son. I'm sorry, Tsunade, but we didn't know what was happening until it was too late. Orochimaru had somehow infiltrated the village without us knowing. By the time we realized that he was in the village, he had already placed the curse seal on Sasuke and Naruto, explained the Sandime. After which grunted in pain, when Tsunade tightened her grip on his robes, nearly choking him. What kind of fucked up security have you got here? Has the village become this lazy and lax in the past 12 years, that they let an S-class nuke nin waltz into the village and attack children without so much as fight? Yelled the furious Tsunade. Hey easy Haim, I know you're angry and all, but it's not Sensei's fault. You know as well as I do how crafty Orochimaru can be, where if there is a way around something, he'd find it, Jiraiya. No, it is his fault, as much as it is yours, rounded Tsunade, if you and Sarutobi sensei hadn't let him go when you each cornered him and had just killed him when you had the chance. Naru-chan wouldn't even be in this situation. At this both men lowered their heads in shame, as they had indeed let Orochimaru go, and it was because of this weakness that Orochimaru was able to do the things he did afterwards. Eventually though Tsunade let the Sandaime go, where she then turned to her son and asked him to tell them what happened in the forest. For the next half hour, Naruto recounted the events in the Forest of Death from when he was separated from his team to when he fought Orochimaru and how he placed the mark on him. When Naruto finished, the elder shinobi remained silent as they mulled over what they had heard. The Sandaime was of course very proud of his surrogate grandson, at how he was willing to put himself in danger to save his comrades. After hearing the story, the Sandaime could not help but be reminded at how Naruto's ancestor the Nadaime Hokage had done the exact same thing as Naruto and sacrificed himself to save his comrades. It of course showed that Naruto truly inherited the will of his ancestor and was a true heir of the Senju clan. Tsunade unfortunately did not see it that way, as she was quite angry at her son. Naruto, why on earth did you do something so foolish? You should know that you stood no chance of defeating someone like Orochimaru, spoke Tsunade angrily. Then what should I have done? Run and hide like a coward? Retorted Naruto angrily. If it means that you survive then yes. Replied Tsunade. I won't do that, Ka-chan, you didn't raise me to be a coward, who runs away and hides when my teammates are in trouble. Hashirama Hyoji-san, Tobirama Uji, Gigi, Ero-san and Tu-san would never do something like that either. Beside, even if I had run and hid, do you really think I wouldn't have gotten away from him? Fired Naruto back fiercely as he felt his temper rising, since he wouldn't apologize for what he believed to be the right thing. Tsunade of course would have commented on this, but before she could, Jiraiya intervened, knowing that things could get out of hand, if he didn't. Alright you two, that's enough. You both made your point, stated Jiraiya, where he turned to Tsunade. Haim, I know you're upset, but regardless of how you feel, the kid was only trying to do the right thing and you should be proud of that. Besides, he's here alive and relatively unharmed, and that is what counts, and even if he was ran or hid, Orochimaru would have still found him. At this Tsunade just huffed, but slowly calmed down, as she had only reacted the way she did because Naruto could have been killed. As for you brat, said Jiraiya as he turned to Naruto, your mom isn't angry at you. She just upset, since she has been worried sick about you for the past 4 days, and she only acting like this because she loves you, and doesn't want anything to happen to you. At this Naruto calmed himself down, before letting out a large sigh, where he then apologized to his mother, who in turn did the same. Once the mother and son had apologized to one another and calmed down, Naruto then went on to finish his story. When Naruto told them how Haku and her team had found him and treated his injuries and protected him from the AM team who was seemingly targeting him. When Tsunade heard this, she frowned slightly, and began wondered what the AM genin were up to, by targeting Naruto. She also made a mental note to thank Haku and her team for helping her son and treating him when he was injured. She already knew a bit about Haku from Naruto's letters, where Naruto had mentioned his mission in Nami no Kuni, Wave Country, where he encountered Zabuza and Haku. Something that Tsunade had not been too pleased about when she heard, where she had planned to have a stern talking to her sensei, about sending her recently made genin's son to fight a wanted rank nuke nin. Naruto of course continued with the story and explained to the others how during the fight he woke up with his curse seal activated, causing him to go out of control and attacked Haku and her team. Naturally Tsunade and everyone in the room were concerned at what happened. But their concern quickly turned to surprise, when Naruto told them that he had stopped himself from killing Haku and forced the seal to recede by sheer willpower. After which Naruto then went on to explain how after regaining control of himself, he and Haku along with her team went to look for Sasuke and the others, where he eventually found them and fought and defeated Sasuke. Once Naruto finished his story, the room once again remained silent, as everyone digested what they had learned. Eventually Tsunade spoke up and asked Naruto to show her his seal, which her son obliged, where he pulled away the bandages on the side of his neck so to show his mother the seal, which still throbbing a little. When Tsunade saw the seal, she narrowed her eyes angrily and silently swore revenge on her former comrade. Soon after though, she looked away from the seal and even though she was skilled in sealing, she couldn't make much out of it and so turned to Jiraiya, who was much better at the art. Jiraiya, is there anything you can do to remove it? Tsunade asked, where the toad sage just shook his head sadly. Sorry Haim, but I don't, as my knowledge on the seal is limited. But I do know for certain that if I were to try and remove without fully knowing what I'm doing, it could kill Naruto. Since the seal is closely integrated into Naruto, the best we can do for now is seal it off from him. But I swear, I will do everything I can and I won't stop working until I find a way to safely remove it from him, answered Jiraiya. Tsunade was of course not happy to hear this but understood, as she knew Jiraiya wouldn't stop until he found a way. We should then use Fujihoin evil sealing method to seal the mark away, make and add some extra things to make sure that it doesn't affect Naruto. At this Jiraiya just nodded, that sounds like the best option. Once it was agreed, Tsunade then narrowed her eyes and cursed her former teammate. Damn you Orochimaru, I swear when I find you, I make you regret the day you were ever born. If I may, Tsunade-sama, I would like to volunteer placing the Fujihoin on Naruto, along with any other seals that may be needed, since I'm his sensei, spoke Kushina as she stepped forward. At hearing Kushina volunteering, Tsunade just looked up at the red-headed woman with a blank face. She of course knew that Kushina was Naruto's sensei as he had mentioned her several times in his letters to her, Tsunade and Shizune along with Yamato. When Tsunade first heard this, she had naturally been surprised at the news, even though she expected Yamato to be Naruto's sensei, given how he had her grandfather bloodline. She hadn't expected Kushina to be his sensei as well, but she soon realized given how Kushina was a skilled sealer and had a unique ability in restraining Biju. She was an excellent choice to be Naruto's sensei, where she could help restrain him, should he ever use the Kyuubi's chakra and go out of control. Tsunade had also been slightly concerned at Kushina being Naruto's sensei given the relationship between her and his father. But her concerns soon faded in Naruto's later letters, where he spoke of the female Uzumaki fondly and how well they got on. With all due respect, Kushina, spoke Tsunade, although I trust you to be my son's sensei. There are only two other people I trust my son's safety without question, and given what happened here, I will let no one other than myself to do the sealing. Normally at hearing something like this, Kushina would have taken offense to the comment. But given recent events, she couldn't blame the older woman for feeling the way she did, for if she was in Tsunade's shoes, she'd probably do the same thing, hence she nodded in acceptance. So when should we do the sealing? Asked Jiraiya. We'll do it now, as the sooner we seal it up the better, responded Tsunade. Wait, what about the preliminary matches? If you do the sealing I will miss them, stated Naruto. Naruto, this sealing is more important than the Chunin exam, the sooner we seal the curse mark from you the better. Since as long as that mark remains on you unsealed, you cannot use your chakra. Not to mention the longer you have it the more likely it is to affect you and cause you to lose control of yourself like before, chided Tsunade. That won't happen this time, I won't let it, besides you can't order me around, since I'm not a little kid anymore, Naruto retorted. Like hell I can't. I'm your mother, and there's no guarantee that you'll be able to stop the curse mark from making you go out of control, responded Tsunade angrily. For the next few minutes, mother and son argued over the sealing, where neither of them were willing to back down to the other. Seeing that this was getting nowhere, the Sandaime decided to intervene, where he coughed loudly enough to gaining everyone's attention. Tsunade, although I understand where you're coming from, Naruto is correct. He is a shinobi of this village now and has the right to decide what he wants to do. Besides, I don't think arguing with him on this will change his mind. Since he is quite determined to do the exam, stated the Sandaime. Like I care, cried Tsunade, he's my son, not yours, and I say he's doing the sealing now. Yes, you're correct, but he still has the right to make his own choices, but for the sake of less arguments, I suggest a compromise, the Sandaime responded. What sort of compromise? Tsunade asked. You let Naruto continue the preliminaries, and if the seal should activate and cause him to go out of control, then we'll stop the match immediately and have the Fujihoin placed over the curse seal along with the other seals, regardless of him forfeiting his match. Tsunade did not respond at first, as she thought long and hard about it, but soon enough she accepted the compromise. Since she knew, like her, Naruto could be very stubborn about some things and not let it go. Fine, grunted Tsunade, but I want one condition, and that is the very moment that preliminary fights are done with, Naruto is to have the Fuja Hoin and the other seals placed on him. I believe that is reasonable, answered the Sandaime, where he turned to Naruto. Do you agree with the compromise, Naruto? Naruto just nodded, as he knew this was the best possible deal he could get out of his mother. So then shall we move back to the exam now? Sarutobi asked. Before we do, Hokage-sama, interrupted Kushina, there is something I think Tsunade-sama should know. Like Naruto's relationship with a group of Kumo genin and their sensei, one which he developed before he came here. What? Asked a confused Tsunade, who was joined by an equally confused Jiraiya and Shizune. At the mention of Yugito and the others, Naruto cringed slightly, knowing what would happen next, where she turned to look at Kushina, who just gave the blonde boy a stern look that said, you knew this was coming, sooner or later. Naruto, what is she talking about? Demanded Tsunade, where Naruto sighed inwardly, where for the remaining half hour he explained what had happened when he met Yugito, Killer Bee and their team. When Naruto finished his story, Jiraiya and the others were naturally shocked that of all people Naruto would run into, it would be two Jinchuriki like himself. They were further surprised at hearing how Naruto defeated an out-of-control Yugito without using his Mokuton bloodline or his other abilities. Sure, they understood the fact that the girl didn't have full use or control over her demon's power. But it still didn't take away how incredible Naruto's victory was, especially when he was only 10 years old. The Sandaime and the others, of course, couldn't blame either Jiraiya or Shizune for being shocked, since they themselves were stunned by the news when they first heard the story, since it wasn't every day they heard about an 10-year-old boy defeating a out-of-control Jinchuriki. Tsunade, although, was far from pleased with her son after she heard the story. Senju, Naruto, of all the foolish things that you have done, this is the most foolish. Do you have any idea of how much danger you put us in? How much danger you put yourself in? What if they had found out about you? They could have kidnapped you, or worse, they could have killed you. But they didn't, Ka-chan, as I never revealed who I was or revealed my Mokuton bloodline or any of my other abilities. The only thing they know is that I've 4 nature affinities naturally. They only recently found out who I was, when they were sent here in the exam. So they were the ones who showed you that you have 4 nature affinities, stated Jiraiya with realization dawning on his face. Since he had never fully believed Naruto's story when he asked to be tested for his nature affinities and had always wondered why Naruto had asked. But after hearing his story, everything started falling into place. That is beside the point, Naruto, since it doesn't change the fact that you put yourself in grave danger. Who knows what they could have done to you or try to do? Stated Tsunade fiercely. They won't, Ka-chan, as they are my friends just like Haku. Naruto responded. Are you so sure of that, Naruto? As from what I saw, you were only a step away from fighting that Kumo girl, spoke Kushina with a serious look. That's different. Karui may have her problems with me, but I trust Yugito, Omoi and Samui. Omoi was even trying to stop the fight, you saw that, said Naruto, when he turned to Kushina and Yamato. That is true, Naruto, but it still doesn't change the fact that they are shinobi of a rival village, spoke Yamato. Not to mention Kumo isn't above using underhanded means to get what they want, Kushina remarked with slight venom. What do you mean? Asked Naruto. 9 years ago, a brief conflict between us and Kumo erupted. The war ended with both sides agreeing to peace treaty, where Kumo sent their head ninja here to sign the treaty. The treaty was, of course, just a ruse to allow the head ninja to enter the village, so that he could kidnap the heiress of the Hyuga clan, stated Kushina. Hinata, spoke Naruto is surprise, where Kushina just nodded and continued. The plan of course failed, where Hinata's father Hyuga Hyashi stopped and killed the head ninja. But even after being caught red-handed, Kumo denied that they had any knowledge of it and tried to make us look like the ones who broke the treaty by killing their ninja. In fact, we had to sacrifice one of your shinobi to prevent a war from breaking out, stated Kushina rather bitterly. And if that isn't enough, spoke Kushina, back when I was not that much older than you, Kumo tried to kidnap me for my unique ability to restrain Biju. The only reason I didn't become slave or breeder for them was because your father saved me. After hearing all this, Naruto didn't know what to say, as he had no idea about any of those things. Sandaime, although, just lowered his head, as he could understand Kushina's bitterness given her personal experience. Not to mention her sentiments were shared by many of the high-ranking shinobi in Konoha after the Hyuga affair. Despite the fact that Kumo had suffered a severe blow to their reputation and many of the other shinobi villages weren't as trusting towards them afterwards. The incident had still left a bitter aftertaste in the mouths of many people in Konoha, especially the Hyuga clan. I will admit what Kumo did was wrong, but Killer Bee, Yugito-chan or any of the others had a hand in what happened to you or Hinata-chan. Besides, Yugito-chan and the others never told the Raikage that they knew me or revealed any of my abilities that they knew to him, Naruto responded Naruto. So they say, said Kushina, not really believing that. But still, it doesn't change the fact that the reason they're here is because it involves you. Since it's far too much of a coincidence that Kumo would enter one of the prized possessions, into the Chunin exam, at the same time you are in it. Naruto of course could not argue with Kushina at this point, since what she said did make sense. But even still Naruto refused to believe that his friends were out to harm him, since if they wanted to kill or kidnap him they could have done that in the forest of death like the Am Genin. After a minute or two of silence though, Naruto did speak, although gave Kushina a cold glance and spoke in a calm but equally cold tone. The names are Killer Bee and Yugito and they are people not things. But if you want to refer to them as possession again sensei, then you might as well refer to me as a possession as well. Since I am like them, or did you forget? At this remark, Kushina cringed, as she had let her bitterness and anger towards Kumo get the better of her. Naruto, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that, I do, stated Kushina only to be stopped by Naruto. Save it sensei, before you make things worse, Naruto interrupted, where Kushina just sighed and cursed herself for her poorly chosen words, but planned to apologize better to Naruto later on. Eventually though the Sandaime decided that it was time to end the little meeting and get back to the exam, before any more arguments could begin. The others of course agreed, although Tsunade did state to Naruto that they would talk further about him keeping secrets from her. Battle Arena. After the unexpected hour-long rest period, the Chunin exams recommenced, with the return of the Naruto and all the others. Although when Naruto and the others arrived they found that a few more people arrived in the battle arena when they were away. These people were none other than the Hokage's advisors Danzo, Homura and Koharu. Naturally the group had been surprised at their appearance and when asked, the shinobi elders simply stated that they were interested in seeing how Naruto would fare in the preliminaries. Not to mention, they'd heard that Tsunade and Jiraiya had appeared in the village. Tsunade and the others of course did not believe this was the entire reason, since Naruto had informed them that Sai had left Sakura alone with Sasuke for a period of time, under the guise that he was searching for Naruto. The group of course figured that Sai had gone off to send a report to Danzo on what had happened in the forest. When Naruto eventually rejoined Team 7, Sakura had asked if they had talked about the curse seal and Orochimaru. Naruto of course just nodded, but before Sakura could ask further, she was interrupted by Hayate, who began to finish explaining the rest of the rules of the preliminary round. Given how he had been interrupted by Tsunade's unexpected entrance, Hayate went on to explain that given how there was an odd number of genin, and for the interest of keeping an even number of genin for the finals, one of them would have to fight twice. Many of the genin of course did not know what to make of this. Since on one hand, should any of them lose their first match, one of them would get another shot of making it to the finals. But then again the opposite could just as likely happen, where if they won their first match and lost their second, then they would lose their spot in the finals. Several of the genin like Kiba complained about this, stating it was unfair. But Hayate simply retorted that if they had a problem then one of them can quit. That way the number of genin would be even and no one would have to fight twice. Naturally after being given this option, those that complained remained silent, since none of them wanted to give up the chance of making it to the finals. Once that matter was settled, Hayate had Anko bring down the selection screen, where the screen would randomly pick two genin's names, who would face off against one another. When the screen activated it started to randomly go through names, eventually though it stopped on two names. Senju Naruto vs. Hattori Mai. Upon seeing the name Hattori many of the more senior shinobi let out a small gasps of surprise, while others' eyes widened slightly. Perfect, thought the AM team leader named Mai. Shit. Looks like the brat did inherit a bit of your bad luck after all, Haim. As he is the opening match and is facing against a Hattori, commented Jiraiya to his teammate, who just frowned. Well, it seems that we get to finish off our fight sooner than I expected to Senju, spoke Mai as the AM team leader walked forward. That's fine by me, replied Naruto with a slight glare, where the two stood opposite one another, while everyone walked up to the catwalks above. As Tsunade walked by Naruto, she told him to be careful, while at the same time reminded him that if his seal started acting up, she would stop the fight. Naruto just nodded at this, after which Tsunade went up the catwalk on the left-hand side, along with Jiraiya, Shizune, Taunting, Team 7, 8, 9 Guy Team, and 10, joined by Haku's team. While the remaining other teams went up the catwalk on the right-hand side. Once up on the catwalk, Tsunade was also joined by the Sandaime, who was accompanied by Ibiki and Anko. At the same time, Kakashi, Kushina and Yamato were joined by Zabuza. It's been a while, Kakashi, spoke Zabuza. Nice seeing you too, Zabuza, greeted Kakashi, with his traditional eye smile and wave. Although I have to say, I'm surprised that you of all people are a Jonin sensei now. TSK. Not by choice, since the Mizukage didn't give me many options in the matter, but I guess I could have gotten worse brats to train, replied Zabuza. Upon hearing this, both Saito and Chojuro smirk at one another, for although it didn't sound like it, that was the closest thing to praise that anyone other than Haku could get out of Zabuza. Kakashi just smiled again at this comment, knowing that the famed demon of the mist was actually quite proud of his students and was just too proud to admit it. So looks like your brat is starting things off Uzumaki, and he doesn't have it easy either, as he going against a member of the Hattori clan, Zabuza commented. Yay, it should be hard, but you should know better than anyone, Zabuza, how tough Naruto can be, replied Kushina, where the demon of the mist just nodded. Excuse me, but who are the Hattori clan? Asked the slightly nervous Sakura, since she was still a bit scared of Zabuza, given their last encounter with the former Nuke Nin. At this question Zabuza raised his eyebrow in slight disbelief. Huh. You Konoha nins really need to fix your academy system, if Genin today don't know who the Hattori clan are. The Sandaime of course frowned slightly at Zabuza's insult towards Konoha's academy teachings. But he quickly realized that Zabuza may have a point, if Genin today never heard of the Hattori clan. The Hattori clan, answered Kushina, while watching Naruto down in the arena. A famed and renowned shinobi clan, who reside in a Megakure hidden rain. The clan is well known for having many skilled shinobi, although they're practically famous because of their clan head, Hattori Hanzo, better known as Sanshuo no Hanzo, Hanzo Salamander, the leader of a Megakure. A man whose fame and reputation is known and revered throughout the entire shinobi world, to the point where the mere sight of him on the battlefield would make most shinobi run in fear. After hearing this, all of the eyes of the Genin, minus Haku and her team, who were listening to the explanation, widened in surprise. But before any of them could comment on what Kushina had told them, the former Anbu captain continued with her explanation. Hanzo is easily recognized as one of the strongest shinobi of our time even to this day, and is an icon to the whole shinobi world, because of his great skills. It is said he could single-handedly wipe out an entire platoon of shinobi with relative ease. But one of the things he is most famed for is for battling all three members of the Densetsu no Sannin, legendary three ninja, when they were young and giving them their title as Sannin. After hearing this, the Konoha Genin eyes widened once again in surprise, where Sakura then turned to Jiraiya and Tsunade. So does that mean that, you defeated him, Jiraiya-sama, Tsunade-sama? Defeated him, ha, laughed Jiraiya when he heard the question. Girly, he wiped the floor with us, the only reason we survived is because he let us go, because he was impressed that we were able to hold our own against him. The fact is, if we had kept fighting him, he would have killed us. When the Konoha Genin heard this, every single one of their eyes widened in disbelief and gasped in shock, at the idea of one man being strong enough to have defeated the Densetsu no Sannin of Konoha by himself. Let's just hope for the brat Sake that the kid he's going against isn't as strong as we think, spoke Zabuza, as he watched Naruto, who was now talking to Mai. With Naruto and Mai, as the two Genin stared at one another, Mai suddenly started to chuckle. Care to share the joke with me? Asked Naruto, as he was curious as to why the Genin was laughing. Oh, it's nothing, I was just laughing at how perfect this is. Since I get to face you in the very first battle of the preliminaries, in front of your mother and everyone else here, and once I've defeated you, everyone will finally acknowledge that the Hattori clan is the strongest shinobi clan in the world, where like my grandfather, I will have defeated the heir of the legendary Senju clan of Konohakure Hidden Leaf. Grandfather, wait. Are you telling me that you are Naruto asked in shock, but before he could finish asking, Mai finished. Yes. I am the granddaughter of Hattori Hanzo, better known as Sanchuo no Hanzo. With the spectators. Shit. Hanzo granddaughter. Zabuza spoke in surprise. Jiraiya, did you know anything about this? Asked Tsunade as she turned to the Gama Sennin in surprise. Like hell I did, responded Jiraiya in equal surprise. I didn't even know that Hanzo had a kid to begin with. Damn it, now it makes sense. Hanzo must have sent her to kill Naruto, knowing we couldn't do anything should he die in the exam. It also explains why his most trusted subordinate Kandaki is here as well, as the team's Jonin sensei, stated Tsunade angrily, as she gripped the railings tightly. Since it made sense, given how the Amgenin targeted Naruto back at the Forest of Death and how Hanzo was notorious for not tolerating any possible threats to his village. This could cause some trouble, thought Sandaime with concern. Fuck, of all the people Naruto had to go against, it had to be her, thought Kushina with a frown, as she beginning to believe that Jiraiya was correct about Naruto inheriting a bit of Chuan's bad luck. Naruto will certainly have a tough time with this one, thought Kakashi, a serious look that was not normally seen. The kid is definitely not going to have it easy with this girl, especially if she anything like her grandfather, thought Asuma as he let out a puff of smoke from his cigarette. So Sanchuo no Hanzo has sent his granddaughter to deal with the Senju heir. This could be beneficial to us, thought Baki with a calculating look. Although that was soon replaced with a look of slight concern, given the look that his youngest pupil was giving the cloaked girl. Yes, mother, she may prove to be worthy prey as well, thought Gaara, with a crazed excitement at the thought of fighting Mai. Since unlike the Konoha genin he had heard of Sanchuo no Hanzo and was certain that his granddaughter would make an excellent opponent to fight. Do not fail in your mission, Mai, thought the girl's Jonin sensei Kandaki. So Hanzo, you two have made your move on the boy, thought Danzo, as he watched the two young genin face one another. Kukukuku, this is certainly an unexpected surprise. Who would have thought that Hanzo had a granddaughter and that she would be in the Chunin exam? Not to mention that she and Naruto-kun would face off against one another in the first round of the preliminary fights, thought Orochimaru in amusement. As he was certain that this match would prove to be very entertaining. With Naruto and Mai. As the two genin stared at one another, Mai decided it was time to rid herself of her cloak, where as soon as she did, the blonde Senju's face turned a shade of red that rivaled any that a certain Hyuga heiress could ever turn. What the hell? Cried the embarrassed boy, when he saw what Mai really looked like. Mai was an attractive medium-tall young girl with honey-color eyes and long brown hair, with long bangs that framed the sides of her face, tied up in a thick, long ponytail which flowed down to her lower back. But the thing that caught most people's attention, or more specially the males, was the skimpy red sleeveless tunic that he wore, which barely covered her ample cleavage, which was easily a C-cup. Her outfit was held at her waist by a silk-white waistband, with mini shorts underneath it. At her feet she wore a pair of soft-soled tabi while also wearing fingerless red teku that covered only the back of her hands, which held a pair of white folding fans with metal sides. 1. With the spectators. When the spectators saw Mai in her outfit, their reactions varied. Most of the males, like Lee, Choji, Chojuro, Omoi and some others, blushed bright red much like Naruto. While others like Shikamaru, Sasuke, Gaara, Shino, Sai and Neji remained emotionless and hid their reaction, although others weren't as skilled. Since after seeing Mai's outfit, some male members like Kiba and Kankuro were launched into the wall behind them by their nosebleeds. The female spectators' reaction was of course very much different, where the young Hyuga heiress turned a bright shade of red, like Naruto and many of the boys at seeing a girl wear such a daring outfit. On the other hand, girls like Sumui, Yugito, Haku, Temari, and Tenten were quite annoyed Mai's choice of outfits. Some of the others girls like Ino, Sakura and Karui were infuriated by it. Although at the same time the three of them wondered what the girl ate and drank to get breasts like her. Whoa ho! Cried Jiraiya with excitement, now that's what I call a Kanoiki outfit. I take back what I said earlier, the brat has the luck of the gods. After which the perverted sage took out a pad and pencil, where he planned to write down Mai's outfit description and use it in his next book. But before he could put pencil to paper, an annoyed Tsunade elbowed the toad sage right in the face, but luckily for him, she hadn't used her superhuman strength. But even still, the hit had left an imprinted on the man's face and busted his nose, causing it to bleed a little. Well, it's certainly a unique outfit, commented the Sandime with a slight blush. What the hell is that bitch thinking, wearing something like that? Cried the outraged Ino. Actually, she doing what many Kanoiki did long ago, commented Asuma, causing his female student to snap her neck back to him, crying, what? Well, you see, back in the day, especially when doing missions like infiltration, intelligence gathering, or assassination, many Kanoiki would use seduction and their sexuality to distract or catch their enemies off guard before striking. She is just following in that path, since many young and some older male shinobi could easily fall for such a ploy, where they could lose focus in a fight, answered Asuma. As he had to admit, if he had gone against someone like her when he did the Chunin exam, when he was Naruto's age, he would have easily lost focus or become distracted. Naruto-kun isn't like most of the guys here, he isn't perverted and he won't fall for something like that, stated Ino. Well, we'll see soon enough, replied Asuma, although he wasn't too sure and wouldn't blame Naruto if he did. With Naruto and Mai shaking off his embarrassment, Naruto quickly focused himself at the matter at hand, where he went to draw his katana and readied himself. As he knew the kind of game Mai was playing, since his mother had told him that shinobi would often use different methods to distract an enemy, and make them lose focus, so that they could defeat their enemy more easily. When Mai saw Naruto shaking off his embarrassment off, she smirked and decided to try and push her advantage forward. What's wrong, Senju? Do you see something you like? Asked Mai, as she leaned forward so to give Naruto a better look at her cleavage. Since Mai had no problem using her sexuality into keeping her opponents off balance. But instead of becoming distracted by her seduction tactics, Naruto kept his eyes on the girl herself and not her chest. The fact that he was a medic in training helped things, since there wasn't a part of the male or female body that he wasn't familiar with. Sure, it was embarrassing at first, not to mention the time right before he left for Konoha, where his mother and Shizune gave him the talk. Since neither woman wanted Jiraiya to do it, thereby giving him the chance to corrupt or ruin Naruto. But he eventually got over his embarrassment and got used to knowing and seeing such things, hence my ploy was worthless. Soon enough though, Mai realized that her tactic wasn't working, since Naruto remained focused and ready. So she decided to try and mess with Naruto a different way. Don't like me, I see. Well now, that's a surprise, I didn't think you swung that way. I guess Konoha can give up on any chance of the Senju clan being restored. After saying this, Mai was gratified to see a small twitch on the young Senju heir's face, knowing that her comment had irked Naruto. But before she could press her comment any further, Naruto made his own remark. Oh no, I like girls alright, it's just that I go for more than just looks, where unlike you, I prefer girls who don't try as hard. Besides, aren't you a little too old to be hitting someone like me, or is it that you just can't get a guy your own age? At this remark, Mai growled in anger, which caused Naruto to smirk, knowing that he had gotten to her. I'm only 15, cried the girl in slight outrage at being called old. And I don't have a problem getting a boyfriend, it's just none are worth my time. Naruto was of course slightly surprised that Mai was only 15, as he had thought for sure that she was 18, given how developed she was. Damn, what the hell do they feed the girls in that village? Thought Naruto, but quickly pushed aside such thoughts and took satisfaction using Mai's own mind games against her. With the spectators. After seeing Naruto turn the tables on Mai, Tsunade smirked with satisfaction, as she was pleased that her son hadn't fallen for any of Mai's ploys. Especially the seduction techniques, since she had made sure Naruto wouldn't fall for such tricks, on the chance that some Kanoiki or other girls would try to, so that they could use Naruto to elevate their status in the village. That girl's only 15, cried Jiraiya in surprise, before destroying his notes on Mai, since he did have certain ethics, where he didn't do any peeping or other things on girls under the age of 18. But he did keep the outfit in mind for another character, as it would be a waste not to. Damn it, Mai, don't let him trick you like this, thought Kaneki angrily. With Naruto and Mai. Soon enough though, Mai calmed herself down, where she focused solely on Naruto, as she now knew that Naruto wouldn't fall for any of her tricks. After a minute or two of staring at one another, both genin decided to start the match, where Mai kicked things off, by channeling her chakra into her right-hand fan. After converting her chakra into wind, Mai then cried out, Futon, Kyofu, wind style, strong wind. And unleashed a powerful gust of wind at Naruto, who couldn't avoid the gust of wind in time and was sent flying back into the wall behind him, where he was forced to raise his arms to protect his face and received several small cuts on his arms and body. With the spectators. So she is a futon user like Naruto, and a powerful one at that if she can create a powerful gust of wind like that with a hand-size fan. This makes things more difficult for Naruto, as he can't use any of his chakra because of the curse seal, thought Sarutobi. With Naruto and Mai. So Senju, what did you think of that? Asked Mai, with a wicked smirk, as she saw Naruto lower in arms and saw the cuts all around his body. Naruto did not answer of course, but glared silently at the girl as he picked himself up. Although as he did, Mai channeled her wind chakra into both her folding fans and swung at the same time together, while crying out, Futon, Nibai Kyofu, wind style, double strong wind. B. Not wanting to be hit by the clearly more powerful version of Mai's attack. Naruto quickly jumped up high into the air, which was a lucky thing. For as soon as he jumped into the air, the wind attack collided with the wall behind him, which became covered in several dozen large slashes, created by Mai's attack. Shit. I can't afford to underestimate her, thought the blonde boy, after which he took out a set of kunai from his pouch, which was refilled by Shizune, when Naruto asked her if he could borrow some kunai and things from her, and threw them at the girl. Mai of course jumped away from the kunai, where she then counterattacked by using her futon, Kyofu again. Creating another large gust of wind. Given how he was still in midair, Naruto couldn't avoid the technique and was sent flying into the stone hands, that were doing a ram seal, which was to his right. Fortunately though he recovered quickly and flipped himself over, so that his feet hit the wall and he was able to propel himself forward. After which he then used his wrist-mounted senbon launcher and fired several senbon needles. Acting quickly, Mai narrowly avoided the high-speed senbon, which were highly accurate, as she had to use her fans to deflect them. After deflecting the senbon needles, Mai plucked out the last needle that had gotten stuck in her fan and smelled it, where she detected the trace amount of a toxin from it. Poison. I must be careful around him, as he was trained by the world's top medic Nin Tsunade-sama. Who knows how many more of his weapons are covered with poison, thought the Amkanoiki. But as soon as she had this, Naruto suddenly appeared right in front of her. Mai immediately realized then, that Naruto had used the needle attack to distract her, so to give him time to get close enough to her so that she couldn't use her wind attacks. Acting quickly, Mai raised her right hand fan up, and flipped a small switch on it, causing spikes to spring from the tips of the fan, which she then used to block Naruto's katana, which he had swung at her. Naruto was of course surprised by this, but then quickly used his superior strength to push the girl back, while at the same time, slashing through the fan, making it useless to use wind techniques with. After being pushed back by Naruto, Mai quickly jumped backwards to gain some distance between the two of them, where she then began to do some hand seals with her one free hand, which of course stunned many people. With the spectators. Seals with just a single hand, I didn't think such a thing was possible. Spoke Kurenai in shock, where she was joined by many others. Just like Haku, thought Saito. This girl is indeed skilled, thought the Sandaime with a frown, where he then watched Mai spit out several large balls of water from her mouth and fire them at Naruto, forcing him back a bit. With Naruto and Mai. After Mai forced him back, Naruto knew if he wanted to beat Mai he would need his chakra and use his jutsu, but with the curse seal preventing him from using his chakra, he was forced to use one of his backup plans. Cutting his index finger on the edge of his blade, Naruto spread the blood on a small seal that was carved on the side of this blade near the hilt of his katana. This was of course no ordinary seal. This seal was a chakra storage seal, that Kushina had taught him before the Chunin exam. Naruto had stored a large amount of chakra into the seal, since Kushina told him, that there was always a chance, either on a mission or in battle, where he would be either running low on of chakra or unable to use his. This was way, it always a good idea to have something like that to fall back on. After activating the chakra storage seal, Naruto slightly thanked his red-headed sensei. Even though he was a bit upset with her right now, he was still grateful for her foresight. But before Naruto could even use the chakra from the chakra storage seal, Mai suddenly swung her fan and cried out, Futon, Senpu, wind style, whirlwind. C. Unleashing a powerful blast of wind from her fan, this lifted Naruto off his feet and into the air and then formed into a large tornado. As Naruto was being spun around in the tornado, small wind blades started cutting him from all sides, making it impossible for him to defend himself. With the spectators. Impossible. How can she create something that big and that powerful, with that small folding fan? Temari spoke out loud in disbelief, as she herself had to admit that she couldn't do that with the small folding fan Mai was using. She gifted that's for certain, commented Baki with some surprise at Mai's wind manipulation skill. But then again, she is the granddaughter of the legendary Sanshuo no Hanzo. Naruto, cried Shizune concern, as she was watched her godson, surrogate brother spinning around in the tornado being cut up by the wind attack. Tsunade herself wasn't doing any better, as she grabbed the railing tighter, causing them to slowly break. Damn it, thought Jiraiya, where his worry only grew, when he saw the curse markings staring to spread over Naruto's body. Hokage-sama, indicated Anko, as she too saw the curse seal starting to spread. Naruto, thought the Sandaime with worry, when he saw what was happening. Phew, so he's starting to draw upon the seal, thought the disguised Orochimaru. He's finished, thought Kaneki, well done Mai. With Naruto and Mai. As Naruto was spinning around and being cut up by Mai's tornado, he started to cry out in pain. But as he did, he could feel the curse seal activating and starting to spread throughout his body, as if reacting to his subconscious cry for more power. For just one moment, Naruto pondered at the idea in using the seal and its power to defeat Mai. But as quickly as that idea popped into his head, he remembered what he did to Haku and her team and how he had nearly killed them. Not wanting to repeat of what had started to happen here, Naruto began to force the seal back. No. I won't let you control me again, I will win this fight my way, with my own power. Screamed Naruto in his mind. It was then at this moment that Naruto gripped his katana tightly and started to draw a massive amount of chakra from the storage seal, and channeled it to the tip of his blade and converted it into wind, where he then swung his katana and cried out, Adana Sarasu Fu Great Wind Slash. As soon as he did this, a massive blade of wind erupted from his katana and slashed through the tornado, causing it to dissipate. Although the wind attack continued to fly toward the catwalks on the side where most of the foreign genin were, where it nearly hit Killer Bee and his team, who were barely able to move out of the way in time. With the spectators. What the hell? Is Senju trying to kill us? Cried Karui, as she and the others picked themselves up from the floor of the catwalk. Holy crap. Omoi said suddenly, where when everyone turned to look, every genin and nearly all of the jonin eyes widened in shock. For where Naruto's attack hit, there was now a massive cut on the wall, as the wind attack had cut right through the steel catwalk and made a scar-like cut on the wall about 4 inches thick, which reached from the catwalk a couple of feet below it. That was close, we could have been toast, rhymed B, when he saw what Naruto's attack did. How did Naruto do that? I thought he couldn't use his chakra, stated Shizune in surprise. Chakra storage seals, that's only way I know how he could do that, replied Jiraiya before he turned to Kushina. Did you teach him them? Of course, since it's always best to have something to fall back on. No way, spoke Joji in disbelief, after seeing Naruto's wind attack. Damn, I told the kid that he should try to improve that attack of his, but I didn't think he'd go that far, thought Asuma in surprise. Inconceivable, where on earth did that boy learn a technique like that? Thought a shocked Baki. How on earth did he do that? Thought Temari in amazement. What the hell is that guy? Zaku cried, while his teammate Dosu just narrowed his one visible eye, as what he had just seen proved that his instincts on Naruto were right. That's the way Naruto-kun, cried Ino, as the Aishi punched her fist into her and continued to cheer for her crush. Whoa, looks like the brat has improved on that wind technique of his, stated Jiraiya. Jiraiya-sama, Tsunade-sama looked the mark, it's receding, spoke Shizune suddenly, where when they looked, they saw that Naruto was back with his feet on the ground and the markings of the curse mark were indeed receding. At seeing this, Tsunade let out a sigh of relief, not only of Naruto getting out of the wind technique, but also for resisting the seal. I don't believe it, he was actually able to push back the curse seal, with sheer willpower, thought Anko in surprise, as it took an immense amount of willpower to do that. Impressive, the boy does seem to have a talent in futon, thought Danzo, as he stared at Naruto with a calculating stare. Kukukaku, most impressive Naruto-kun, thought the amused Snake Sanin. With Naruto and Mai, at the same time, when everyone was recovering from their shock at what they had seen. Mai herself had still, not completely gotten over it, since she had been certain that Naruto was finished. Impossible, what on earth was that technique he used? I've never seen anything like it before, thought the girl, where she was only awakened from her shock when she heard Naruto cry, Sarasu Fu wind slash. Acting on pure instinct, Mai quickly jumped to her right, narrowly avoiding the deadly wind slash. Although the attack was not as big or as powerful as the pervious wind slash, the fact that was it able to make a shallow mark on the solid stone wall behind Mai proved that it was still deadly. Shit, what kind of wind technique is he using? Sofu, more formal way in saying grandfather, was correct to be concerned about him. The fact that he is able to use a technique that is clearly a rank at his age, proves that he could very well become a formidable threat one day. I need to kill him now and fast, thought Mai as she picked herself up. But as soon as she did, she was forced on the defensive by Naruto, who slashed at her with his katana. For the next few minutes the two genin fought each other in a fierce battle, where Mai activated the spikes of her fan to help defend herself from Naruto's attacks. Naruto other hand did his utmost to try and find or make an opening for himself to exploit and take out Mai quickly. Eventually though, Mai was able to once again gain a little distance between them, where she took out some shuriken and threw them. After which she then quickly channeled her wind chakra into her fan, and used it to create futon, Kyofu to enhance the speed, power and ability of her shuriken. Seeing this, Naruto knew he had to act fast, so he quickly took out a kunai with an exploding note tied to it and threw it at the incoming wind attack and projectile, where right before his kunai could be blown back at him. Naruto activated the exploding note, causing it to explode, where the explosion cancelled out the wind attack and blew away the shuriken. Luckily for Naruto, he had just been far enough away to avoid any serious harm from the explosion, although was a little singed and was blown a bit back by the blast. With the spectators. Nice going brat, that's using your head, commented Jiraiya with a smile. Well I give him this, he's certainly quick on his feet, commented Temari, as she was impressed with how Naruto negated the wind attack. With Naruto and Mai. Unfortunately what Naruto was unaware of was that, the attack just now was just another distraction, so to allow Mai to prepare her real attack. For as soon as the smoke of the blast died down, he saw Mai with her fan in her mouth doing several hand seals with both hands at a speed that impressed everyone in the room. At the same time, Naruto also noticed that she was now surrounded by a large volume of water, which he had guessed, she had summoned from the scroll that was on the ground in front of her. Seeing this, it wasn't hard for Naruto to guess that Mai was planning some kind of high-level water attack that required a large volume of water. But before he could make any attempt to stop her, the young Kunoichi finished her hand seal and thought, Suten, Suiruden no Jutsu, water style, water dragon bullet technique. And created a massive dragon made out of water. Upon seeing the large water dragon coming at him, Naruto tried to move out of the way, but found he could not, as Mai was able to have her water dragon follow after him, while still in its form. Fuck, I can't lose it, thought Naruto, knowing he had only one option left, where he drew out another massive amount of chakra from his sword's chakra storage seal and once again used his Adana Sarasu Fu. The large blade of wind then cut right through the water dragon, splitting it in two, causing the water that made up the water dragon to fill up the arena. After which the wind attack hit the wall, where like before it made a large slash mark on it. Fortunately though, it didn't reach as high at the catwalk, since this time Naruto was not in midair. With the spectators. To actually be able to use a technique of that level in here. Commented Kushina in surprise, for as much as she hated to admire her student's opponent, the girl had seriously impressed her. This is getting out of hand, we never expect Mai to have this much trouble with him, clearly the boy has been better trained than we thought, Kandaki thought with a frown. This new generation is certainly full of promise, thought Sandaime, for like Kushina. He had to admire Mai's skill, since she was just as remarkable as Naruto. As to be able to use a high-level B-rank water technique like Suten, Suiruden no Jutsu. In a place like this, and to control so well at her age, was remarkable to say the least. TSK, as much as I hate to admit it, Hanzo did a hell of a job in training that girl, commented Jiraiya, since given what he saw, even if Naruto was a full strength and didn't have to hold back, he would still find this girl difficult to fight. Both of them are troublesome, ow, muttered Shikamaru, before being slapped on the back of his head by Ino, for calling her, Naruto-kun troublesome. After which the girl continued to cheer Naruto on. The two of them are seriously strong, and here I thought the Sandge was dangerous, stated Kiba, where his silent teammate Shino nodded in agreement, as Naruto was proving much stronger than any of them ever expected. Yosh, the flames of youth are truly burning brightly in him, wouldn't you agree, Kakashi? Asked Guy. At this, Kakashi just turned to Guy and said, "Huh, did you say something, Guy?" After hearing this, Guy once again became outraged. "Damn you, Kakashi, and your cool hip attitude. You've won this round, but I will not lose again." As the green jumpsuit wearing man continued his usually little rant about how he wouldn't lose to Kakashi again. The copy nin just turned back to watch the two young genin face off against one another again. As Kakashi watched them, he did silently agree with what Guy was saying about Mai and Naruto, although not in so many words. Both of them were impressive shinobi. Looks like we've better start watching out Kushina Senpai, or else before we know it, Naruto and his generation will pass us by, commented the silver-haired man. Perhaps, but I like to think we still have a few tricks up our sleeves to teach them, replied the red-haired woman. With Naruto and Mai. Damn it, I almost had him, thought Mai angrily, as she started to pant heavily, as using Suten, Suiruden no Jutsu along with her other techniques, had taken a lot out of her and was nearing her limit chakra-wise. At the same time, Naruto stared down at his katana, as he knew that his chakra storage seal on his katana was nearing empty. Since there was a limit of how much chakra he could store in the seal, and he had used a great deal of it when he used Adana Sarasu Fu twice. At best he knew he had about a third of the chakra that was originally in it. Hoping to finish the fight quickly, Naruto charged straight at Mai with his katana, but the young Hattori Kanoiki was no slouch, for as soon as she saw Naruto coming at her, she quickly took her fan out of her mouth and once again began to do one-handed hand seals and inhaled deeply before thinking, Kaiten, Ru no Hoko, fire style, dragon's roar. She then brought her free hand to her mouth and then exhaled a large stream of fire which flew at Naruto at great speed. With the spectators. Not only can she use Futon and Suten ninjutsu, but she can use Kaiten ninjutsu as well, thought Sasuke in surprise, since he never expected Mai to be this powerful and being able to use a fire technique he had never seen before. This girl is just like Naruto, as she is able to use multiple elemental ninjutsu, thought Asuma in surprise, as given what he was seeing, the girl was already as strong as high-level Chunin if not a Tokubutsu Jonin. At the same time he couldn't help wonder, what kind of training the girl's grandfather put her through to get her to be this strong. With Naruto and Mai seeing the stream of fire coming at him, Naruto immediately jumped to the left. After narrowly avoiding the hot stream of fire, Naruto charged right at Mai's unguarded right. Mai of course saw this and quickly deactivated her Jutsu and brought her folded fan up to defend herself, when she saw Naruto about to swing his katana in an upward diagonal slash. But when Mai brought up her fan to block Naruto's slash, all that happened was Naruto's empty hand passing by her fan, revealing it to be a feint. The real attack instead came from Naruto's other hand, where he bypassed Mai's fan and slashed her across the chest with his katana. You gotta love the Mizu no Atsuen, rolling water technique, thought Naruto with smile, believing her had won. But that smile quickly disappeared when he saw Mai revert into water, revealing that Mai had replaced herself with Mizu no Bunshin. Seeing this, Naruto silently cursed and quickly spun around, to see several kunai flying towards him at high speeds. Brining up his katana, Naruto skillfully deflected the incoming projectiles with his katana and then started looking for Mai. Enter Naruto OST2 Reikiri Thunder Break. He quickly found her at the other end of the arena opposite him, standing directly in front of the large stone hands. After doing several one-handed hand seals, Mai inhaled deeply before thinking, Kaiten, Gokakyu no Jutsu, fire style, great fireball technique, and expelling a massive ball of fire. She then quickly followed up the attack, by channeling her wind chakra into her folding fan and using her futon, Kyofu, to enhance her fireball, making it even bigger and stronger. With the spectators, she's able preform combination techniques, said Kurenai in shock, upon seeing what Mai did. Such skill at so young an age, commented Koharu in surprise. The girl truly is the granddaughter of Hanzo, stated Homura. A most impressive heir Hanzo, thought Danzo, before turning to look at Naruto and see what he would do. With Naruto and Mai, at seeing the massive ball of flames hurtling towards him, Naruto realized he couldn't avoid the attack, as it was coming in too fast and was too big. Knowing of only one way to get out of this situation, Naruto started to summon the chakra from the storage seal on his katana, and hoped he had enough chakra to do the technique. He flipped his katana, so that he was holding it backwards and then started to spin around at high speed, while channeling his chakra to draw the water around him, the water that was used to create Mai's water dragon, to create a giant waterspout around him, protecting him from the massive fireball. 2. When the two techniques clashed, a giant steam cloud appeared where the two techniques cancelled each other out, as the water extinguished the fire and the fire evaporated most of the water. As the cloud of steam rose, everyone struggled to see what was happening, as the steam covered most. "Look over there," cried Hinata, who had her Byakugan activated to see into the cloud, where she then indicated to the edge of the steam cloud. When everyone looked, they saw Naruto emerged from the steam cloud with his katana thrust forward and covered in water. Seeing this, Mai knew she didn't have much time, where she waited until the very last second before she stepped aside to avoid the attack so that Naruto would crash into the wall behind her. But before hitting the wall, Naruto pulled back his blade and then brought his right foot forward, where he then used the wall to propel himself back towards Mai at even greater speed. Surprised by this, Mai was barely able to bring up her fan to block Naruto's attack, who once again tried to use his Mizu no Atsuen technique, where he switched his katan from his right hand to his left in an instant. Sadly though, Mai was prepared for this, where she recognized the feint and stopped the real slash with the metal side of her folding fan. "I'm not going to fall for the same trick twice," stated Mai, as she blocked Naruto's slash. "Well, how about this then?" replied Naruto as he passed his katana from one hand to another at high speed behind his back, allowing him to strike Mai in the side, on her unguarded left with the side of his katana. After being hit in her left side, Mai stumbled sideways and struggled to keep standing, as she had been caught completely off guard by Naruto's Nagareru Mizu, following water technique 3. Not wanting to lose his advantage, Naruto quickly moved forward with his katana, where he then channeled the last of the chakra from his storage seal. After which he then used his Hine flying swallow technique to increase the cutting power of his katana, and sliced right through Mai's fan, when she raised it, in an attempt to defend herself. After which Naruto then followed up his slash, with a roundhouse kick in Mai's stomach that sent her flying backwards and crashing into the wall several meters behind her. End Naruto OST 2 Reikiri Thunder Break. With the spectators. Pretty good, Naruto has improved a lot in his kenjutsu, since we last saw him, commented Omoi, as he was quite impressed with Naruto's swordsmanship skills. HMPH. I guess, muttered Karui, but what style is he using? I've never seen one like it. It's called Arasuajan no Mai Dance of the Raging Water Goddess, replied Samui, gaining her teammate's attention. It's a unique kenjutsu style, created by the Baradi Shinku no Akari, Bloody Crimson Fury, Uzumaki Kushina. The style involves the user using not only a sword, but also water as a weapon, which is why the fighting style is so unusual and unique. Since normally when using weapons and elemental chakra together, wind, fire, lightning or pure chakra is normally what is used, and as you can guess, the style is best used when there is a large nearby water source. Beat her ass 10 times out of 10. Cheered B in his usual bad rapping. With Naruto and Mai. Give it up Mai, you can't win, spoke Naruto, as he watched the girl slowly pick herself up. TSK. Like hell I will, you haven't won this fight yet Senju. Cried the girl, as she charged straight at Naruto, who in turn charged straight at her. As the two neared each other, Naruto attempted a sword thrust at the granddaughter of Hanzo, but she quickly avoided it and moved close so that Naruto couldn't use it. She then delivered a sharp knee kick to Naruto's gut, causing the blonde to kneel over slightly. After which Mai then grabbed hold of Naruto's sword arm and kicked his feet from under him and flipped over her, while at the same time causing Naruto to drop his katana. After being flipped over by Mai, Naruto quickly recovered by doing a mid-air flip, allowing him to land on his feet, where he then fell into a fighting stance and prepared to fight Mai, who had spun around to face Naruto. HMPH. As you can see Senju, I'm not like the pitiful excuse of Kanoiki that you have in your village, said Mai, causing several indigent yell from Tenten, Sakura and Ino. As I've been trained in some of the most grueling training regimens you can image, for not only am I skilled in ninjutsu and weapons, but I am equally skilled taijutsu. Upon hearing this Naruto's eyes narrowed, as he had to admit he had underestimated Mai. I'll admit I've underestimated, and you're indeed one of the strongest people I've ever fought, who were around my age. After a minute or two of staring off at one another, the two genin charged at one another and began to fight in fierce taijutsu battle, where neither gave much ground to the other. After ducking under a powerful jump kick from Naruto attempted to punch Mai in the side, which was left exposed after she missed him. But before he could hit her, Mai blocked the punch with her right hand, wherein a feat of incredible acrobatics. She used Naruto's outstretched hand like a pedestal to spin around and deliver a 180 spin kick right to Naruto's face, sending the young Senju skidding back several meters away. Mai then quickly chased after Naruto, attempted to hit Naruto with a straightforward punch, which Naruto easily ducked under, and delivered a sharp rising knee kick, right to Mai's chin, sending her a few feet into the air. Upon which Naruto then fell backwards and used the ground to propel himself into the air and hit Mai in the gut, with a drop kick, sending the young Kunoiki flying into the air, several meters back before crashing to the ground. Naruto then attempted to end the battle, by chasing after Mia, where he then jumped into the air and attempted a falling axe kick. But before Naruto's kick could hit, Mai jumped onto her knees and caught the falling kick with her hands, where she then pushed Naruto back, causing the blonde to flip several meters back. But when Naruto landed on the ground, Mai once again appeared in front of him, a hit straight in the chest with a flying kick, sending him the blonde flying backwards. Mai then continued after Naruto, where she appeared next to him and hit Naruto with a powerful rising, which sent Naruto up into the air, where the Kunoiki jumped after him. Once she was above him, Mai then delivered a powerful elbow to Naruto's stomach that sent him hurtling to the ground and hit it with a loud thud, where he then skidded across the ground for several meters before stopping. God damn it, I'm getting pretty sick of being her punching bag, I'm going to end this now, thought Naruto as he spat out some blood as picked himself up. Once Naruto was back on his feet, he did a single hand seal and released his Fuinjutsu, Shishiomomizuke Shiru sealing technique, 4 limbs waiting seal, causing his gloves and boots to glow blue. With the spectators. About time the kid released them, commented Jiraiya, when he saw Naruto deactivating the Shishiomomizuke Shiru. Excuse me Jiraiya-sama, but what is causing Naruto's boots and gloves to glow like that? Asked Sakura. The glow is being caused by Naruto deactivating special weighing seals that I placed on his boots and gloves, so to help improve his physical strength. Meaning with them being no longer active, Naruto will be much stronger and faster than he was before. At this, Sakura and the other genin eyes widened in surprise, as Naruto was already pretty fast. So he uses the same kind of method that Lee uses, but instead of regular weights he uses weight seals, thought Neji with interest, after hearing Jiraiya's explanation. With Naruto and Mai. At the same time, when Naruto was deactivating his Fuinjutsu, Shishiomomizuke Shiru, Mai, who had landed back on the ground, began to frown and wonder what Naruto was doing, what sort of trick is he up to now? But before she could think further on the matter, Naruto suddenly charged straight at her with a sudden massive burst of speed, where within the blink of an eye was right in front of her. Mai had been so surprised by Naruto's new speed that she had been completely caught off guard by it, and couldn't block the sharp elbow strike to the side of her face from him, which was then followed by a rising knee kick to her chin, causing her to fall on her back. Mai of course quickly recovered, where despite the pain she was feeling from her face, she spat out some blood that was in her mouth and flipped backward onto her feet. But as soon as she did, she was forced on the defensive, by a powerful roundhouse kick from Naruto, to the left side of her head, which she barely managed to block with her left arm, due to the strength and speed of the kick. Seeing that his kick was blocked, Naruto then quickly used Mai's left arm to push his right leg away from her, allowing him to spin himself around and deliver a powerful spinning back kick to the right side of Mai's head. That sent her flying sideways and nearly causing her to hit the wall. Mai of course tried to steady herself as her head was still spinning from Naruto hits. But it just when the world had stopped spinning for Mai that Naruto once again appeared in front of her. It was only because of the many years of intensive training that she went through, that her body was able to move out of the way of a strong forward punch from Naruto. Although when she tried a punch of her own, Naruto slapped her arm away and sent a strong elbow strike to her chest, right between her breasts. That knocked the wind out of her, causing her to take a few steps back. Naruto then quickly followed up with another forward kick, which Mai barely blocked with both her arms, although the kick was still strong enough to cause her arms to go slightly numb and make her skid back a small bit. What the hell is going on? Where did this sudden new burst of speed and strength come from? Did he use some kind of jutsu to do this? Thought Mai, as she tried to understand what was happening. But before Mai could dwell any further on the matter, Naruto came at her again, when she tried to punch him with her right fist. He caught it and then hit several pressure points on her arm with the tips of his fingers, causing it to go numb. Seeing this, Mai then tried to punch him with her other fist, but Naruto avoided the fist and did the same thing to her other arm. With both her arms gone numb, Mai then attempted to kick Naruto, but before she could hit him, the Senju air ducked underneath the kick and spun to her side, where he then did a leg swipe and kicked her remaining foot off the ground. After which Naruto then hit a pressure point on her back and kicked her up into the air. Once Mai was airborne, Naruto then jumped after her, where once he was above her, he raised his leg up and cried out Gekikyaku hammer kick, where he delivered a powerful blow onto Mai's stomach, sending her crashing to the ground. Once Mai hit the ground, the match referee Hayate appeared next to Mai since he had been keeping out of the way of the two genin. Remarkably, when he kneeled down to her, Mai was still conscious, although was groaning in pain from Naruto's last move, but even still it was obvious the girl could no longer fight. It was at this point that he saw Naruto landed a few feet away from them and slowly walked towards him. The boy looked fairly tried and had several bruises, cuts and other injuries on him, not to mention his outfit was fairly torn up. But all of this just proved how fierce the fight between the heir of the Slug Princess and the heir of the Salamander was. Soon enough, Hayate stood up and spoke, Hattori Mai is unable to continue the fight, the winner is Senju Naruto. With the spectators, Yatta. Naruto-kun won, I knew he would, cheered Ino. Yosh, stated Tsunade with a smirk, as she knew her son would win. That move, thought Guy in surprise, as he thought about Naruto's last move, although it was very different, there were still strong similarities between his and Lee's moves to Naruto's. It of course did not take long for him to realize that Naruto must have copied Lee's move slightly and changed it to fit his own style. This of course greatly impressed the elder man, as it took a great deal of skill and physical ability to perform the moves that Naruto did, especially since he had only seen it once when Sasuke fought Lee. Naruto-kun fought well, commented Haku, as she turned to her master. At this Zabuza just nodded, the kid did good, it was a pretty close match, as the girl was no weakling. Naruto-kun, muttered Hinata quietly as she smiled at the blonde boy winning his match. Nice going Naruto, thought Omoi with smile. As expected, thought Yugito with a slight smile. Oh yeah, he pulled it off like a wisdom tooth. Stated B with a smile. I don't believe it. My loss, thought Kandaki with utterly disbelief, who was joined by the rest of his team, as Mai was the strongest amongst them. HMPH. I have to admit he's pretty good, I didn't think he would win, thought Temari. With Naruto and Mai. Once Hayate had announced that the match was over and that Naruto had won, the young blonde let out a sigh of relief, as he was pretty sore after that fight. Not to mention fairly tired, as he didn't have much time to rest from finishing the Forest of Death to his match with Mai. As Naruto was about to walk up to the catwalk and join his family and friends, he suddenly heard her Mai cough harshly. When he turned to Mai, he saw that she had spat out some blood and was struggling to breath. Seeing this, Naruto quickly walked over to her and kneeled down next to her and started to take out some things from his pouch. When Hayate asked what he was doing, Naruto explained he was going to help her treat her injuries. Hayate of course told Naruto that they had medics here to help her and told him that he didn't have to. But Naruto stated he could handle it himself, where the sickly shinobi just nodded and backed away so to allow Naruto to examine and treat Mai. When Mai turned and saw Naruto sitting next to her, the young Kunoichi glared at the blonde, come to gloat Senju. Cough, cough. Hardly, replied Naruto, where she stared to gently touch Mai's sides. What the hell do you think you're doing? Cried the outraged girl, with a hit of blush, which Naruto found funny. Given the outfit she was wearing, he didn't think Mai would be so embarrassed of a boy touching her. I'm treating you, explained Naruto, where before the girl could respond, she hissed in pain as Naruto touched her tender sides. As I expected, you've a few cracked ribs, probably caused by my last hit, although I'm amazed that's all you got, stated Naruto before he went and took out a small pill bottle and took out some pills and brought them to my mouth. What are they? Mai asked. They're painkiller pills, to help numb the pain from your ribs, Naruto explained. But as soon as he said this, Mai turned her head away stubbornly. I refuse. Huh, but why? I am a shinobi of the Hattori clan, where to accept help from an enemy is a sign of weakness, and I will not insult my pride by letting you help me, stated the girl stubbornly. Well, that's about the stupidest thing I've ever heard, Naruto commented. What? You heard me? Why let yourself go through all this pain over a silly thing like that? TSK, you wouldn't understand, replied Mai angrily. Maybe not, but whether you like it or not, I'm going to treat you. Now you've two choices: you can make things easy for yourself and do what I tell you, or you can make things hard, where I force you to take these pills. You wouldn't, Dara, spoke Mai before she cried out in pain, when Naruto touched one of her cracked ribs, where he then poured the pills into her mouth, causing her to swallow them. Well, that wasn't too bad, now was it? Asked Naruto with an all too sweet smile, one that was all too familiar to many people, as they had seen the exact same smile on his mother face all too many times. Damn you, growled Mai angrily, if could just move, I will, spoke Mai, but was interrupted by Naruto before she could finish her threat. Well, you can't, so deal with it, but if you behave, I'll free you from the effect of the pressure points. At this, Mai just grunted and allowed Naruto to finish treating her. With the spectators. Hey, looks like the brat also inherited your bedside manner, joked Jiraiya, as he glanced over at Tsunade. Ha, ha, laugh it up, pervert, next time you come to me to treat your injuries after one of your research missions, I won't be half as nice to you, replied Tsunade, which caused Toad Sage to worry slightly. Why is Naruto even helping that chick? She tried to kill him, stated Kiba, who had awaked from his unexpected nap not long after Naruto's match began. The brat is weird that way. He did the same kind of thing for me and Haku, commented Zabuza. What do you mean? Asked Shino. During our battle in Nami no Kuni, Wave Country, Kakashi had me and was about to deliver the final blow. Haku of course tried to protect me by shielding me with her body, but before Kakashi's attack could hit, the brat stopped him. Why on earth would Naruto do that? Asked Ino. Well, the kid simply stated that he didn't believe either Haku or I deserved to die, replied Zabuza with a slight snort. Since given the things he did in his past, many would think that he did deserve to die. That was a very reckless thing to do, stated Kurenai with a slight frown. Yeah, well, that's what happened. He even somehow convinced Kakashi and the others to bring us back to where they were staying and let him treat us, despite the fact that we tried to kill him and the others. Even now I still do fully understand why he did, said the Demon of the Mist. It's because Naruto-kun is a very kind person, answered Haku with a fond smile, where at this Tsunade, who was listening to conversation, could only nod in agreement. Since Naruto had always been a kind boy, too kind at times. With Naruto and Mai. For the next few minutes Naruto continued to treat Mai's injuries, where he soon took out and opened a small jar of cream and explained to Mai that it was healing cream that would help reduce the swelling that would come later. When Naruto added the cream, the girl hissed in pain, as the cream was cold and her sides were very tender. Soon after though, the pain lessened as Naruto continued to gently rub the medical cream on Mai's sides. As Naruto continued to do this, the girl couldn't help but notice, as Naruto rubbed the cream on her sides, that he had very gentle hands. The thought of course made the girl blush slightly, which thankfully Naruto didn't notice. Soon after though the Kunoichi decided to ask Naruto a question: why are you even helping me? I was your enemy. The match is over, so we aren't enemies anymore, stated Naruto. But I tried to kill you. Well, that was then and this is now, and besides you're not the first one to try and you certainly won't be the last one too. Also, what happened then is now in the past and it doesn't mean we can't become friends now, replied the Senju heir. Friends? Repeated Mai, where she looked at Naruto like he was insane. Yeah, I have two other friends now, up there watching us, who I met on a mission a while back, and like you they were my enemies for a while. But once the battle was over, we became friends. At hearing this Mai just shook her head in slight disbelief. TSK, you're a weird guy, Senju. Naruto just smirked at this and said, so I've been told. After a few minutes though, Naruto finished spreading the cream on Mai's sides and took out some bandages and slowly wrapped them around her waist. Once the bandages were tightly around Mai's waist, Naruto took out another small pill bottle from his pouch and took out a large round pill the size of a gumdrop. What's that? A medical pill Mai Ka-chan developed. It temporarily floods your body with chakra and accelerate your own natural healing, although it doesn't heal you completely. It should heal you just enough so that you can move around without trouble, but later you should go to a medic to be fully treated, explained Naruto. And if I were to refuse that pill? Asked Mai. Well, you know what happened last time, answered Naruto with a smirk, which annoyed Mai, but agreed and opened her mouth to take the pill. Within a minute or two after taking the pill, it took effect, where Mai could feel the chakra surge throughout her body and could see her injuries starting to slowly heal. Once the pill did its job, Naruto then tapped the pressure points in her arm joints to allow her to move her arms again. He then hit another pressure point just above her breast, to allow her to move the rest of her body. I can move again, declared Mai, as she moved arms about. Although her body was still sore and ached a little, she was a lot better than she was before. Told you I would, but don't move too much, as you're not 100% yet and won't be for a while, said Naruto, where Mai just nodded. You're a strong Kunoiki Mai, I mean that, and I really hope that we can be friends. Maybe we can have a friendly fight later on once the exam is done with, spoke Naruto as he held out his hand in friendship, as well as to help her up. But instead of taking Naruto's offered hand, Mai grabbed his green zip-up top and pulled him down to her and kissed him. Enter Naruto OST1 sexiness. Now this wasn't your ordinary everyday kiss on the cheek or a quick and simple kiss on the lips. This was an open your mouth so our tongues can play kind of a kiss. Naruto of course had been so shocked by what had happened, that he didn't know what to do, and by the time he realized what was going on, his brain went on shutdown mode because of Mai's kiss. With the spectators, Naruto wasn't the only one who was caught off guard by Mai's kiss, as everyone else who had been watching the fight was caught completely off guard, where their reactions varied from one another. Upon seeing this, both Kiba and Kankuro were launched into the air by massive nosebleeds, where they once again crashed into the walls behind them. Many of the boys and girls like Lee, Karui, Choji, Hinata, Chojuro, Sakura and Omoi turned bright red at the sight. At seeing Mai kissing Naruto, Jiraiya immediately started cheering for Naruto, yelling out, "Way to go kid!" And, "That a boy." At the same time, he began writing everything down on his notepad, thinking it would make a great scene for his next book. Tsunade although didn't take the sight as well as Jiraiya did, for as soon as she saw it, she went postal. Both the Sandaime and Shizune quickly grabbed hold of the woman and prevented her from jumping down into the arena and killing Mai. But that didn't stop her from screaming out, "Let him go you little wench!" And, "I'll kill her," as she struggled to get out of her sensei and students' grips, who were now assisted by Anko and Ibiki. Tsunade was of course not the only one who took what Mai did badly. When Ino saw Mai lip lock with Naruto, she immediately cried, "Bitch." She was so angry, that her sensei Asuma had to hold her back from jumping into the arena and trying to tear Mai a new one. Even Haku seemed irked by the sight, as when she saw Mai pull Naruto into the kiss, a dark aura formed around her and an evil-looking glint appeared in her eyes, which caused her teammates to slowly step away from her in fear. Zabuza-sama, "I believe I have finally found someone I wish to kill," spoke the female ice user dangerously, where she took out a set of senbon needles from her pouch. "Don't tell me Haku likes the kid and is jealous," thought Zabuza, when he turned to his student and raised his non-existing eyebrows in surprise and was slightly worried that Haku might actually try and kill Mai. "Well, they certainly didn't have this back when I did the Chunin exam," commented Kakashi. "This is going be troublesome," muttered Shikamaru, seeing Tsunade, Ino and Haku's reaction to the scene. "Damn Naruto," thought Omoi in surprise and some admiration for his blonde friend. "Good stuff man," cheered B, although both Samui and Yugito were slightly annoyed by what Mai was doing, although neither of them knew why they were bothered by it. "Well, I certainly didn't see that coming," commented Kushina. As Mai continued to play with Naruto's tongue, Jiraiya started to cry anime tears. "Why couldn't something like that happen to me when I did the exam, gar?" cried Jiraiya, before Tsunade backhanded him right in the face, slamming his head right into the wall, where it got stuck. End Naruto OST1 sexiness. With Naruto and Mai. Eventually though Mai released Naruto from her lip lock, although still held onto his zip-up top. When Mai let go of him, Naruto was left red-faced and in a complete daze, as that had been his first real kiss, and what a kiss it was. 4. "Marry me Naruto-kun," spoke Mai suddenly, which immediately woke Naruto from his daze. "Marry you," repeated the wide-eyed and red-faced Naruto in shock. Yes, you are the only person other than my grandfather to have defeated me in battle. Together you and I would be unstoppable. You're the only one worthy of being my husband and bear children with, spoke my CC children, repeated Naruto, where his eyes widened even further. Yes, as when our two bloodlines, 5, combine and with us as their parents our children would be unstoppable. So how about in Naruto-kun? Asked Mai seductively, where she had a predatory look in her eyes, which made Naruto very nervous. Like hell you will, roared Tsunade, who had broken free of the Sandimes and the other's grip and jumped down to the arena and grabbed the back of Naruto's collar and pulled him away from Mai. After Tsunade pulled Naruto away from Mai, the granddaughter of Hanzo quickly got onto her feet and glared at the female Sannin. You can't stop us, stated Mai. The fuck I can't, I'm his mother, yelled the furious Tsunade. Could have fooled me, since you're old enough to be his grandmother, retorted Mai. Oh dear, muttered the worried Sandime, when he and the others heard Mai's retort. What did you just say, you little hussy? Hissed Tsunade angrily, where her eyes went ablaze in fury and gave Mai a look that would have made most shinobi cower in fear, which was only highlighted when she started to crack her knuckles. But then again, Mai wasn't like most shinobi. You heard me, or is your hearing going in your old age, sneered Mai. Oh shit, cried Jiraiya, who got his head free from the wall as he knew what was to come next. WWWHHHHHAAAATTTT. Roared the Tsunade as flames of fury erupted around the female Sannin. Why me? Asked Naruto to himself, as he stood between his mother and Mai. Even Buddha could only forgive you once, cried Tsunade as she raised her fist in rage, after being insulted once again by Mai. Fortunately though, before things could get further out of hand, Jiraiya and Shizune suddenly appeared behind Tsunade and grabbed hold of her, preventing her from splattering Mai on the wall. Let me go, Jiraiya. Shizune. I am going to kill her, yelled Tsunade as she struggled to free herself from Jiraiya and Shizune's grips, who were barely holding the furious woman back. Just try it, you old hag, goaded Mai, which added fuel to the woman's fury, where Tsunade was on the verge of a meltdown and about ready to bring the whole tower down. Please Tsunade, just calm down, this is all just a grave misunderstanding, spoke the Sandime as he bravely stood between Mai and Tsunade, to prevent Tsunade from killing Mai and starting an international incident. There is no mistake about it. Naruto-kun is my fiancé, declared Mai. And what the hell gives you that idea, rounded Tsunade, as she was still being held back by Jiraiya and Shizune. Clan tradition and law, answered Mai. Huh, said Naruto with a confused look. Excuse me, asked Sarutobi, not fully understanding what the young girl was saying. At this Mai just smiled. There is a long-standing tradition among the Kunoichi of my clan. Since we hold the responsibility of bearing the next generations of our clan, we are obligated to make sure that those children are strong, so that our clan remains strong. Because of this, the women of our clan are trained to be as strong as the men are, so that we can fight against any enemies alongside them, as well as bear many strong children. It's also because of this tradition, that the women of my clan only accept strong men to be our husbands and fathers of our children. Hence if a Kunoichi of my clan is defeated by a much stronger male shinobi and if said Kunoichi finds him acceptable, then he must marry her, explained Mai. That's ridiculous. You're making this stuff up, exclaimed Tsunade. Actually Tsunade, she isn't, stated Sarutobi, gaining the group's attention, as I've heard of the Hattori clan having such a tradition. Well, even if there is, there's no way I will allow it to happen, as I forbid it, declared Tsunade. You have no say in this, hag, responded Mai. He's only 12 and I'm his mother, so I do have a say, rounded Tsunade angrily at Mai calling her a hag again. That may be true, if he was just a civilian, but once he became a shinobi he is regarded by law as an adult, retorted Mai, which caught Tsunade by surprise. Since technically Mai was correct, as by law, when Naruto became a shinobi of Konoha, he was recognized as an adult. That may be true, Mai-san, but even so, there is an age limit to marriage, where Naruto cannot get married until he is 18 years old. Even then, arranged marriages similar to the likes that you're suggesting or any other like them can only be accepted by his mother. Since she is not only his mother, but also the head of the Senju clan, since he is her heir. Not to mention that this is not a megakure and your clan is not part of our village, hence your clan's traditions and laws are not acknowledged here, explained the Sandime. Upon hearing this Tsunade smirked, believing that her sensei had put the girl in her place. But her smirk soon died down, when Mai didn't look the least bit angry or upset. Mere technicalities Hokage-sama, and they can be overcome given enough time. As for Naruto-kun not being legal age for marriage, I believe I can wait a few years, answered the girl, where she turned and started to head for the catwalk, where her team was located. But before she walked off, she turned to Naruto and gave him a seductive wink, which made the blonde blush red, due to the kiss still being fresh on his mind. Not to mention the fact that he could still taste Mai's lips on his own. I'll be seeing you soon, Naruto-kun, said Mai before walking away. At seeing Naruto blush, Tsunade growled angrily, and struggled slightly with Shizune and Jiraiya, muttering, "Let me at her," but eventually stopped. Naruto and the Sandaime of course just sighed, as both of them had slight headaches caused by the past few minutes' events, which would only grow later on. It was almost at the same time, that both Naruto and his surrogate grandfather Sarutobi sighed inwardly and thought the exact same thing at the exact same time, women. With the spectators. Damn, and I thought our family was screwed up, commented Kankuro, who had regained consciousness. Temari of course just nodded at this, although she then smacked the back of her brother's head when she saw him staring at Mai's chest and rear, when she walked by them to go to her team. Kukukuku, very impressive Naruto-kun, very impressive indeed, thought the snake Sanin, with a small smile. Once the excitement of the match and the aftermath of the match ended, the Sandaime decided that they had delayed the next match long enough, and told Hayate to begin the next selection. He also told Tsunade and the others that they should go up to the catwalk, where Tsunade could treat Naruto injuries. Tsunade of course insisted that they go now and seal away the curse mark, but the Sandaime said they couldn't, at least not yet. Since everyone needed to stay here until the preliminaries were done, since one of the genin would have to fight twice. Tsunade, Sarutobi and Jiraiya, along with Naruto quickly shunshined, body flickered, up to the catwalk, while Shizune stayed behind to get Naruto's katana before joining him up. Once everyone was up on the catwalk, Tsunade told Naruto to sit down against the wall so that she could examine him and treat his injuries. This was of course not an order Naruto had problems following, since he was pretty sore and tried. As Tsunade began to heal Naruto's injuries, Haku, Hinata and Ino all came over to see how Naruto was and if they could help her treat Naruto's injuries. Sumimasen, 6tt Tsunade-sama, but will Naruto-kun be alright? Asked Hinata nervously. Tsunade of course did not miss the kun suffix that Hinata used, but decided to leave the matter for another time. Yes, he should be fine, I've trained him hard enough, so that injuries like these would be nothing to him, answered Tsunade. That's the understatement of the decade, muttered Naruto, since his fight with Mai was nothing compared to the hellish training that his mother put him through when he was younger. What was that, Naru-chan? Asked Tsunade with an all-too-sweet tone and smile. Nothing. Naruto replied quickly, since his mother was not in the best of moods after her argument with Mai. Hence she was just looking for an outlet for her frustration, and that was something he had no intention of being. Good, stated Tsunade, where she then continued to treat Naruto. If I may, Tsunade dono, I can help, offered Haku. So can I, stated Ino. IIH have SS some healing cream, that CC could help, stuttered Hinata. Well, looks like you've been busy, brat, thought Jiraiya with a cheesy smirk, when he saw the three girls all offering to help Naruto. Seeing this, Tsunade frowned at the girls' willingness to help Naruto, and began to wonder what their relationship with her son was. Thank you, but I can manage, answered Tsunade, where the girls just nodded. Soon enough though, Tsunade had treated most of her son's injuries, whereas she was finishing up, she glances back over at Haku. You're Haku, correct? Asked Tsunade, where the female ice user just nodded. Then I guess I owe you my thanks. Naruto told me that it was you and your team that found and cared for him and protecting him from that hussy. At hearing Tsunade thanking her, Haku simply told her she was welcome, and that she was happy to do so. Once Tsunade had finished healing Naruto, Jiraiya decided it was time to have a little fun at his gosson's expense, after all the pranks he did to him over the years. So brat, how are you feeling? Still a little bit sore, but a lot better. Ah well, if you're not feeling any better later on, I am sure that these three girls here would be more than happy to help you. Since they were so eager to heal you, said Jiraiya, while emphasizing the word heal to indicate more to the meaning. At hearing Jiraiya's comment and catching the meaning, Ino blushed a bit, while Hinata turned cherry red. Haku on the other hand remained perfectly expressionless. But if one were to look closely enough, they would have seen a hint of pink on her cheeks. It's nothing like that, retorted Naruto, with a slight glare at his godfather. We're friends, that's all. Well, you sure do have a lot of pretty female friends, brat. Something I sure as hell wouldn't mind having, responded Jiraiya, with a perverted grin, causing Naruto to glare at the man more. Oh please, those three are nothing compared to the horde of fangirls that are after. Oops. Spoke Kushina before she realized that she said that out loud. A horde of fangirls, cried an outraged Tsunade, where she glared angrily at her son, who was wishing right now that the wall behind him would just swallow him up whole. At the same time he glared murderously at his female sensei, who blushed embarrassingly, since Kushina the blabbermouth had done it again. It's not what you think, Ka-chan, I swear, they just won't leave me alone. Hell, I don't even know half of them, explained Naruto quickly. Although it did little to lessen his mother's anger, in fact it actually increased it, where she then turned to Jiraiya and grabbed him by the collar and began to shake him like a rag doll. This is all your fault, cried Tsunade angrily, as she wrung her former teammate's neck. I should have known that your perverted behavior was contagious and would infect my son. BB, but I didn't do anything, I swear, cried Jiraiya as Tsunade continued to shake him. I would go easy on Ero Sennin if I were you, Tsunade, as I don't think this is his fault, as if he really was influencing Naruto, then Naruto would be having the opposite effect with girls, spoke Kushina. Damn it, brat, now you got her calling me by that name, cried the annoyed Jiraiya, after Tsunade let him go. Huh. When the shoe fits, Naruto replied simply. And what the hell do you mean by having the opposite effect with girls? The ladies love me, they flock from all over and can't get enough of me, declared Jiraiya, when he turned to Kushina. Really, and what world would that be in? Asked Kushina with a smirk, when she saw the outraged look on Jiraiya, while seeing everyone else smirk and snicker. I think I know who Naruto is really taking after, stated Kushina with a knowing look to Tsunade, which caused Tsunade to frown slightly, knowing that Kushina somehow knew about Naruto's father. Well, regardless, when the preliminaries are all over, and the sealing is done, you and I are going to have a long talk about this, Naruto, stated Tsunade as she stared intently at her son, who was not looking forward to that conversation. Man, I should have just let my kill me, thought Naruto. N.A. Well, that's another installment of Hope of the Senju clan done. I hope you all enjoyed the chapter, as well as the fight between Mai and Naruto. Now, as you can guess, the next chapter will be the finishing off of the preliminaries, so there are still more fights to be had. Now, for those of you who are wondering what's next, the next update will be my Rogue Shinigami story, which will be updated same time next week. Now, as always, please read and review, as I like to hear all your opinions on the chapter or the story in general. Please note that I will answer all your reviews, as I believe that authors should reply to their reviewers. Also note that any suggestions for the story are welcome and will be listened to, and I will tell you what I think of them. As for my grammar and spelling mistakes, although they may be a problem for people, I'm afraid they cannot be helped, and I'm doing the best I can with what I got. Another thing to note is that flames are not welcome here, as I force no one to read my stories, and if you don't like them, then don't read them. Also, please note that all flames will be ignored, or the flamers will be flamed back. Also, as before, please remember to vote on the polls on my profile page about what will be Naruto third summons. Author's note. 1. If you are having trouble in imaging what Mai looks like, go to my profile for the link to the picture. 2. This technique is Senkai no Mizu, swirling water. For more information on it, go to chapter 14. 3. Go to the bottom of the previous chapter for a more detailed explanation of this technique. 4. On the lips, that is, but if you want to get technical, Shion was Naruto's first kiss, as she kissed him on cheek. 5. She referring to how they're both related to powerful shinobi and come from powerful shinobi clans, not actually bloodlines. 6. More formal way of saying excuse me. Custom jutsu. A. Futon, Kyofu, wind style. Strong wind, this is a C-rank move that is used by Mai. By freely manipulating the gust of wind brought forth by her hand fan, the many air currents collide and create vacuum pockets. The opponent that is enveloped by this gust of wind is assaulted by countless invisible blades, carving up the body. Also, the attack is strong enough that it will blow away all incoming projectile weapons and will blow the opponent off their feet and send them flying several meters away. The technique is also very useful when combined with projectile weapons like kunai and shuriken, as their speed, power, and ability to wound or even kill are all increased several times by the technique. It can also be useful in enhancing fire elemental techniques. B. Futon, Nibai Kyofu wind style. Double strong wind. This B rank technique is a more powerful version of the Futon, Kyofu that Mai uses. Many air currents collide to create vacuum pockets that slash the opponents, with enough power to slice down many trees in a forest or to slash up a large stone wall. This technique can deflect both physical and projectile attacks and attack at the same time, making it both an offensive and defensive technique. The only drawback to the technique is that it requires a large amount of chakra, hence it is unwise to use it multiple times. C. Futon, Senpu wind style, whirlwind. This C-rank technique involves Mai using her fan to create many air currents and form them, to create a tornado to envelop and lift the user's opponent up into the air, trapping the opponent in the whirlwind, while also cutting them several times from all directions. D. Kaiten, Ru no Hoko fire style, Dragon's Roar. This is a C-rank technique, where chakra needed inside the body is converted into fire, and expelled from the mouth in a massive stream of roaring flame or as a continuous flamethrower. The scope of the attack is altered by controlling the volume of chakra that is mustered. The released flames will engulf their target, leaving only charred remains afterwards. The only flaw with this technique is that it requires the user to remain in one place, so to control the stream of fire, leaving the user vulnerable to attack from behind or the side. Oh make. Oh please, those three are nothing compared to the horde of fangirls that are after oops. Spoke Kushina before she realized that she said that out loud. A horde of fangirls. Cried an outraged Tsunade, where she glared angrily at her son, who was wishing right now that the wall behind him would just swallow him up whole. At the same time, he glared murderously at his female sensei, who blushed embarrassingly, since Kushina the blabbermouth had done it again. Oh come on. Minato didn't have that many girls after oops, Jiraiya said before he realized his mistake. Jiraiya, you fucking dumbass. Tsunade roared as everyone looked in disbelief at what they were hearing. Must resist urge to kidnap Senju, Namikaze heir, thought all the foreign shinobi. Jiraiya, of all the things you could have said, Hiruzen chided his student. Hey, at least I didn't say that he had the Mokuton bloodline limit and the QB sealed in him. Oh, damn, I'm gonna die, he groaned. Damn right you are, you dumb shit, Tsunade cracked her knuckles. Must resist urge to kidnap Senju, Namikaze heir with the Mokuton bloodline and the QB, thought all the foreign shinobi. Fuck the Uchiha. Fuck the secrecy. I'm taking him. Orochimaru yelled as he went to grab Naruto. But when he grabbed hold of Naruto, he found that the Naruto he had grabbed hold of was just an oversized pushy doll of Naruto, with a note that said, "Fuck you loser." When Orochimaru looked for where Naruto went, he saw him down in the arena bound and gagged and being carried off by Mai. Thanks for the souvenir, morons. I'm sure Naruto-kun and I will be very happy together. Get her. Everyone yelled as they ran after the girl, leaving Sasuke and Sakura alone. Why does everyone want Senju? Why doesn't anyone want me? Sasuke moaned. I want you, Sasuke-kun, and I'll show it to you, Sakura said as she barred the double doors. Oh, fuck no. There's no escape, Sasuke-kun, phew, the pink-haired fangirl said and started to giggle in a frightening way. Itachi, why didn't you just kill me? Sasuke yelled as he ran for his dear life. His attempts would later become futile and he would end up becoming even more traumatized than ever was before. That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.